finally here. Our first practice will be next Monday, October 8th, with a very young team. You will see a ton of excitement this season. We cannot wait to get started with practice. We cannot wait to get our first game underway on November 11th against South Dakota, who happened to end our season last year. So there's a lot that's been going on. We've been here for a little over 5 months, which has actually been an incredible time. So I have a wonderful staff that I hope all of you get to meet. And this community has really gotten behind Drake Athletics. So we cannot wait for the season to begin. We can't wait to play in front of you.
What's been the biggest transition here as you've taken over your first head coaching job?
I think the biggest transition has been life in general and having a young team. We have 9 freshmen and sophomores. We have one junior college, so it's really 10 new people, and don't have a ton of experience. But part of that is they're all freshmen with our new system. And it's a new offensive system, it's a new defensive system, but it's really a fun system. And so the 3 things that we just will not compromise on are the same things I said when I got hired, and that's going to be an up-tempo style of play, it's going to be rebounding, and it's going to be communication.
Talk a little bit about how big a role this sophomore group with Kendall and Carly. What can they bring in the sense that you need them as leaders, but also they're adapting to a new system as well? So where are they at right now?
Absolutely. Well, it's an amazing thing when your sophomore class is a class that has probably more experience than any other class, and as a whole. And so what's fun about that is in the next couple of years, you're going to be really good and very experienced. But the other fun part about that is right now we don't know any better. And right now in the here and now, we're going to have to be really good with young players. And so to throw them in the fire right away is experience that they normally wouldn't get anywhere else.
How do you go about setting your goals for your first year as a head coach?
Sure. I don't know that yet. We haven't started official practice. We've had workouts. The biggest goal I think for us is to achieve our potential. Do I know what that potential is right now? I have an idea, but I don't know for certain. I know that our expectations are going to be higher than anybody else's, and we put high expectations on ourselves. Our players do as well. You look at our team, and we're not only a young team, but we're a very intelligent team. We have a 3.0 GPA at Drake, and that's incredibly impressive. And so the other part is part of that goal is just to get in this community. And yes, we want to win games, and yes, we're going to compete, and yes, we're going to have a great time doing it. We're going to have a ton of fun, but we're also going to be part of Des Moines.
And players like Rachel Hackbarth won't be easy to replace, will they?
No, they never are, and that's what legacy players do, is they leave behind something that's incredibly special, and there's been a lot of legacy players in this program. But the best part about Drake Athletics and the tradition of this program is there's other players that come behind those legacy players. And that's what we're hoping that some of our young players do, and they leave their mark on this program just like Rachel did.
As you go through your career, both high school and college, you were always on teams that competed at very, very high levels. With Drake, I think we're being fair when we say it's a bit of a rebuilding project when you lose Rachel and stuff like that. That you're not going to be probably picked in the top 2 or 3 of the Valley. You talked about the team being patient. How will you be patient?
Well, I don't know. I think we've played at the high level, and I think I've coached at a high level, but I've also coached teams that weren't picked in the top 1 or 2. And that doesn't mean that you can't achieve that, and it also doesn't mean that you can't focus on that. That's the standard for our program, and those are the goals that our program has, regardless of our age, regardless of what we lost in last year's class. I think you'll see, and when you get to meet our players and our current team, you're not going to know half of them because half of them are new, but that's also the fun part, and they're very enthusiastic about what's coming.
Can you give an example if you want this up tempo and a fast tempo?
Sure.
Talk about how you've taken players, maybe this sophomore class, and got them to convert over to that. Or has there been an example? You and I talked over the summer about getting Carly, shoot it. You got to shoot it. I mean, what's an example, or what have you seen of the growing pains and the progress of picking up that pace?
Well, I think some of the growing pains, quote unquote, are more just the confidence in taking the opportunities and taking the risks. And that's something that, with our players, that's what they need to do. They need to take a risk, and we're not going to make every shot. No team does. And so that, I think, has been the biggest thing for us, is to continue to build the confidence. And And quite frankly, that's why you have our entire coaching staff. It's not me instilling that, it's our entire coaching staff instilling that. You know, I mean, I have great staff, we have wonderful coaches, we have wonderful teachers, we have wonderful mentors. But we also have that with our team. And this team is in the gym, and they shoot all the time. And now when the lights go on, we've got to have that confidence to put it in.